Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Center Grove Sports Show here at Campbell's Highland Grille. Kevin Conrad, your host, and on tonight's show, it's all about soccer. We have some youth soccer players with us from the community. Also, we got a coach with us, Callie Scheffler-Tucker, who's with the South Central Soccer Academy. And Callie, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our two youth soccer players with us tonight.
All right. This is Jeff, and this is Isaac, and they're both on the U10s boys team at our academy program at SCSA.
And it's U9 and U10 as far as the academy. Tell us all about the academy at South Central.
So the academy age group is U9 and U10s, like you said, and it's both boys and girls. There's about 45 boys that play for our academy teams, and there's 20 girls that play for our academy girls. They train 3 times a week, and they'll play every Saturday for the most part, and they'll play some tournaments throughout the season. They train starting at the beginning of August all the way to the end of October. So it's a pretty long season, but a really long and fun season.
Especially we're talking about third and fourth graders.
Yeah.
So what's the goal at this age? What do you try to teach and coach at this level?
So right now we're trying to work on footwork and development, really build their technical abilities, make them creative dribblers, but really think about soccer. So sometimes in this age group they just want to kick the ball and just try to hit it as hard as they possibly can. But we make sure that they're trying to actually control the ball, possess the ball, work as a team. And so the finding options rather than just kicking the ball, like I said. And then just really having good technical footwork. So that means controlling the ball while dribbling, getting their head up, and then seeing where their teammates are to actually possess the game rather than just kick it back and forth throughout the game.
Truly learning the fundamentals of soccer at this age.
Yeah. So that's what we hope and see them when they progress on to the U11 age group, which right now they play 7v7. So that includes 6 field players and 1 goalie. And then when they get to U11, they'll go 9v9, so 8 field players and 1 goalie. So, just really try and get the basics of soccer down so they can progress and be successful soccer players next season.
So, obviously, a lot of practice time, but also they get a chance to compete against other clubs.
Yes. So, yesterday they got to compete against Franklin Township teams, and they had a really fun and eventful game yesterday. So, we play around – it's more central area located of the Indy area, so they'll play Mooresville, Cutters, down in Bloomington. They'll play some Columbus teams, and then they'll play some Indy Central teams. So it's just a wide variety of the local surrounding clubs against us.
All right, Callie, let's ask a few questions.
Sounds good.
Of our 2 soccer players. First, we'll talk to Isaac. Isaac, right here, is a 4th grader. And Isaac, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Isaac, tell me about the best part about playing soccer. What's so fun about playing soccer?
Well, it is about, having fun. Having fun and making
friendships. Getting to play with your friends, like Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite position?
Midfielder.
Now, why do you like midfielder?
Because you get to run around the whole field.
Tell me about some of your recent games. Have you guys played some games here recently?
Yes.
How'd you do?
We actually drawed our last one.
So did you guys tie then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you do personally? How did you do in the game? Did you get a chance to score or make any good kicks?
Yeah, one was too high and one was wide.
Nice.
So I got a couple of shots on goal. That's really good. Now, do you play with, this is Jeff, and now is Jeff on your team as well?
Yes.
So you guys are teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time you played together as teammates?
Yes, this is my first time in the academy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'll ask a few questions of Jeff. And Jeff, tell me what position do you play or like to play?
Center mid.
And why do you like to play center mid?
Because you get to go everywhere on the field.
Tell me about your first few games here. Did you get a chance to score yet?
I think I got a chance earlier, but I think Isaac actually blocked it by accident. Or somebody else did, I think.
Maybe.
So what's the best part about soccer for you? Why do you enjoy soccer so much?
I I really like it because I get to play around and meet new friends, and the main part that I like about soccer is that you can have fun.
Tell me about practice. What do you guys work on in practice?
Um, Defense, offense, different types of moves, and yeah.
What did we get to do our last training session?
We got to do defense.
What
And,
type of defense?
Um,
How do we defend?
yeah, and you got to be low. You have to have speed, and sometimes you also have to have less speed.
I understand you have a nickname.
Brick.
Now, why the nickname Brick? Where did that come from?
I think it was one of the coaches that isn't here anymore. But there was one game where we were losing terribly, and and I got subbed in for defense. I think it was right defense, and I think it was Ben. He said that I shouldn't let any guy on the other team score, and I didn't let almost anybody score until there was one play where I fell on the ground, and the goalie was off to the left and was also on the ground, and then he got up, but then he had to dive to the right, and it was a goal. And that was the only goal that they scored for the rest of the game.
So I guess you're like a brick wall. Is that right?
Yeah.
You like that nickname?
Yes.
Now, do you play goalie sometimes?
Yeah, I actually play goalie most of the time inside the first half, when sometimes some of our best goalies are on the other team. And I normally play for the first half, and that's what I actually did last weekend. I played for the full first half.
Isaac, do you get a chance to play goalie or not?
Not so much.
Not so much? You prefer that midfield position?
I always get into outfield. I almost never be in goal.
Well, Callie, some maybe final thoughts. They did a fantastic job.
They did do a great job. Final thoughts about them. So these are two great of our U10 players. They work hard at every training session. They just come out and really give it all they got every time they come out. I don't know. They're just really bunch of great kids to work with. They're always wanting to develop and get better, and that's what makes it exciting for the academy, is that just not only these two want to do it, but most of our kids will come out and really want to work hard and just develop as soccer players and just really become as best soccer players as it could possibly be.
So if you have maybe some parents watching the show and they want to get their son or daughter
Yeah.
involved, what's the best way to – I know obviously right now you're in the fall season, but you also have winter training and also a
Right.
spring season.
Yeah, so the best way to get involved is just reaching out to one of our directors at our club. So we have a website, which is South Central Soccer Academy, Association. And they just come out and they can email our directors, but we also have some skills and development programs during the winter, and that works on footwork, it works on finishing and striking, or actually just positions and focusing on those positions. So we have that during the winter, and then they'll have spring, just again 3 months of working hard, training to get better throughout those 3 months. So yeah, there's a lot of options for them to get involved.
Well, Callie, thank you for taking time to be on our show, and Jeff and Isaac, thank you for being on our show today. All the best to you guys, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
All right, we'll have more of the show after this timeout.
Welcome to Campbell's Highland Grille.
Campbell's Highland Grille, a family-owned Scottish-American sports grill in Greenwood. Dig into appetizing American food that you'll love, as well as traditional Scottish fare. Family-friendly and great specials, too. Kids eat free on Tuesdays. Enjoy our tasty breakfast on the weekend, and free Sundays on Sunday.
The best thing to eat on the menu is the Berkeley Turkey Club. No way, the best thing on the menu is Bowman BLT.
Campbell's Highland Grille in Greenwood.
Don't forget to top it off with Bellamy's bread pudding. Mmm.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Center Grove Sports Show here at Campbell's Highland Grill. Kevin Conrad, your host, and tonight it's all about the South Central Soccer Academy. And now joining us in this segment, we have a head coach with us, and Talani Newby. And Coach, first of all, thanks for bringing your team in. We got a great crowd here tonight. We're having a great time.
Thank you for inviting us. We are happy to be here.
Now, you're a head coach of a U14 team. Now, tell me about your season this year. How did it go for you guys this year?
I think we did really good this season. On our division, we came second, so we are getting promoted to the top league, to the Premier League. So, and we played 4 tournaments. Out of those 4 tournaments, we won 2 of them, and then 2 of them we lost in the finals. So, I'm very proud of the boys.
It's a very great season, it sounds like, to win a couple of tournaments and very competitive in the other 2. Maybe talk about the growth of the team as far as their skills and how they're developing.
I think the boys, it was my first season coaching them as the head coach. So from the start, I think they are developing really well and they're improving. Like from the first game to now, I think we've improved a lot. I think we still have to improve more, but I'm proud of what they've done.
Now you're in the off season, so a lot of work being done at the indoor facility. Things you're trying to accomplish this off season?
Like this is like our off season. We'll start working on the indoor in January. So what I want to do is we're gonna be working more on our foot skills and passing the ball, moving the ball more. I think that's what we have to work on.
Maybe a quick preview. Obviously, the next season will be coming up this spring, but maybe what you're hoping to see out of your team coming this spring?
I think if I see them improving, because it's going to be difficult next season, because we are playing in one of the top leagues in Indiana. So, but what I want to see them, I know they can play against those other teams, but I want to see them passing the ball more, developing more.
Sounds great. So again, you coach a U14 team, so most of these boys are in 8th grade, going to be freshmen next year in high school. But let's go ahead and introduce your team one-on-one, and we'll have our first guest come on up, and we'll meet your first soccer player. And why don't you go ahead and introduce him?
This is Austin. He's one of our best players on the team, and he plays center forward or center mid. I started him center forward, but we needed somebody who can move the ball for us, so I switched him to midfield.
Well, welcome to the show. Tell me about your season. How did it go for you this past year?
It went well. We just got moved up a division, so it's always good.
When you go up a division, I'm sure the competition level went way up as well. Maybe talk about playing against tougher competition.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot harder. More fun probably because more competition, you know.
How about a big highlight for you this past year? Maybe be a team highlight or a personal highlight, something that comes to mind this past fall.
Our latest tournament, we won. We usually don't win tournaments.
Well, tell me a little more about this tournament. Where was it played, and why were you guys so successful?
It was a Nightmare at the Rock, which is home tournament.
And you guys played a lot better, you think, in this tournament? Why did you guys come together in this tournament?
Last tournament, last game together.
Well, thank you for being on the show. All the best with your upcoming season in the spring.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for being on the show. Thank you. All right, we'll have our next guest come on up. Coach?
Oh, this is Owen. He's one of our good headers of the ball. I think he scored most of his goals with his head, 5 of his goals with his head. So,
Owen, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
We got a great turnout here tonight. Thank you for being on the show. Tell me about your season this past year.
I think I did really well because I had a lot more goals than I had last year, and I played a lot more striker because I stopped playing goalie because Christian wanted to play most.
Talk about your skill development. What areas did you improve upon most?
Heading and crossing.
And now you're in the off season, working indoors. What do you want to work on this during the cold months here to get ready for the spring season?
Technical skill like dribbling one-on-one and passing quicker.
Nightmare at the Rock sounds like it was a big success for your team, winning the championship. Tell me about that.
I think we played really well, but we could have played better in the first few games because we played some teams that weren't really good, but they weren't bad either, that we should have beat by a lot more.
Well, sounds like you had a great fall. Sound like you're developing quite a bit. All the best here in the off season, and good luck in the spring.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. And our next guest, Coach.
This is London. We call him Grille. He's one of my favorite players. Even if you see him this small, he wins every 50-50 ball. He's one of our best midfielders, and he can play any position too.
Oh, that's fantastic. So Coach said Grille, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that a nickname? Where'd that come from?
Well, in like kindergarten, my last name's Gilsdorf, and all my friends would just call me Gilly.
I like it. Well, sounds like Coach said when there's a 50-50 ball, you're going to win most of them. I assume you're aggressive, you're scrappy. Talk about your game a little bit.
Well, I'm pretty aggressive, and I play pretty good defense. I defend well.
So you're a defender, huh?
Yeah, I play in the midfield.
Gotcha. How about a big highlight this past year? A big win or something big for you, maybe?
Well, when we won the Bloomington tournament, a tournament down in Bloomington.
Tell me a little bit about your play, maybe how you played in that tournament and how your team played.
Well, we played really good, and we won all of our games, so that was good.
Now you're in the off season. What are you working on here during the cold months?
Shooting and harder passes, kicking the ball farther.
Is soccer your favorite sport?
Yeah.
Do you play other sports?
Yeah, I play tennis, golf, and basketball.
Wow. But soccer's number one?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks for being on the show. All the best in the springtime.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next guest coming up.
Oh, this is Trey. He started as a right wing. Now he's our right back. He's been killing it the whole season. So very proud of him.
Well, tell me about your season. Coach said you were killing it this year.
Yeah. I had some goals. I had a little bit of goals. I had less more than I had.
Some goals this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I had only 4 or 5 this season because I was playing defense.
Okay. So you're mainly a defender.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best part about soccer for you?
When we win.
That's a great answer, Coach. You got some pretty good teammates, too, I'm sure, too, right?
Yeah.
I heard you guys won Bloomington and Nightmare at the Rock. Yeah. Tell me about these wins.
They're pretty hard. They were hard games to play. We played some good teams.
And Nightmare, to be able to win your final tournament of the year, that's got to feel pretty good, right? To go in the offseason with a big championship?
Yeah.
Now, what are you working on now here in this offseason?
Better at defending.
Defending?
Yeah, winning balls.
What do you want to try to do when it comes out springtime? What do you want to see in your game? What do you want to try to be ready for?
Making more runs up the field.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show tonight. All the best in the spring season.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Oh, this is Braden. He's one of the players who moved from the black team to the red team. So, but he's been doing really good. He can play midfield. He can play defense. So,
quite the utility player.
Yeah, he is.
Braden, right? Welcome to the show, Braden.
Hi.
Tell me about your season. Something big that happened for you this past year that you're really proud of.
Well, there's just one play. This kid was dribbling down the line, and he was getting ready to cross it, and I blocked it, and we both fell over on stuff.
So play a lot of defense, and you play offense too, right? Being a midfielder, right?
Yeah.
Which do you prefer? You like to be able to score? Did you just do some scoring this year?
I mean, I scored 2 goals.
That's good. How about this Nightmare at the Rock?
I didn't score any goals, but I had an assist, I think.
Yeah. And your team won, so that's got to be feeling pretty good, right? To end the year with a big championship?
Yeah, it did.
Now, what are you working on here in the off season?
Conditioning and stuff, weights.
Tell me about your spring season. Are you excited for the spring season to be with this team again?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun because we're in Premier now.
A lot more difficult competition, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the show, and all the best with you next spring.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is Cameron, one of the captains, and he's our left forward. He started as a left back. We move him around most of the time, so he's one of the utility players too. He can play any position.
Play about anywhere, huh?
Yeah, I like to play defense and offense. I'll play wherever.
Wherever to help the team win, right?
Yep, wherever they need me, pretty much.
Tell me about your fall season.
It was pretty good. We played pretty good. I mean, we moved way up in Indiana rankings, and I beat both my goals and assists, so I'm happy with that.
Why the development? Why do you think you improved so much this past fall?
We've been working hard as a team. I like the teamwork and the sportsmanship of our team. We get along so well.
Sounds like great chemistry. That's very important. And also, I think in soccer, communication is so important on the field, knowing where guys are and anticipating where they're going to be.
Yeah, it's very important. We had one of our players that got injured. He was probably our best communicator, so we've been struggling with that throughout the season. But yeah.
Now you move into the off season. What do you want to work on personally?
I really want to work on finishing. My crosses, I feel like they're getting there, and then my shot is just, I don't know. I need to work on following through my shot, and yeah, I'll be getting out there and getting some shots on goal.
Sounds like in the springtime the competition's going to be a lot better. Maybe a quick preview of the springtime.
Yeah, we're going to play a lot tougher teams. I mean, we were beating teams pretty well in our other division, so I feel like we'll come in and give them a little run for their money. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I appreciate you coming out and being on our show tonight. All the best with the off season and in the springtime.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, Coach. Next up here.
This is Bryce. He's one of the captains for the Black team, and with the Black team, we played 3 tournaments. We won one, we lost the other one on the final, but we improved a lot too. So he's our left back, and he can play center back too or left forward.
Bryce, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. I've had a great season in soccer this year.
Give me a highlight. Big game, big tournament win, whether it be an individual highlight or a team highlight.
Well, actually, last year, I didn't score any goals, mostly because I played defense. But in our first tournament this year, I had 3 goals, which was a huge highlight.
3 goals, I think we call that a hat trick, right? That's awesome. Why do you feel like your game has developed so much? Is it just the time you're putting in with the practice? Talk about that.
Yeah, I've been working very hard each practice and just trying to get a lot better each game.
What are you working on now in the off season?
I'm actually doing a little indoor league right now, just trying to work on my foot skills and just trying to get better overall.
And in the springtime, sounds like you guys are going to play some really good competition.
Yeah, last year we got moved up 2 divisions, and it's a lot more competitive this year than it has been in the past.
Well, great season. Thanks for being on the show. All the best to you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
This is Carson. He's on the Black team too. He's one of the utility players. He can play center back, left back, center mid, attacking mid. He can play anywhere.
Welcome to the show. Tell me about your fall season.
We won 1 tournament and got second place in 2, so we're doing pretty good.
Talk to some of your teammates. Nightmare at the Rock went well. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we got second. We lost in the championship. I think we lost by 1, I think, or 2. We did pretty good.
Tell me about your game in particular, how you've improved. What part of your game?
Well, I used to play center back, but now I'm moving to the mid, and I really like just playing through balls and getting it to the goal.
And now that you're in the off season, what are you working on?
I'm trying to work on my ball control and how to play through to the other players.
Maybe a thought or two about the spring season. It's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm excited and hope we win some more tournaments.
Thanks for being on the show. All the best with you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we got our next player coming up in just a moment. There he is. Welcome to the show.
This is Charlie, one of our midfielders. We call him Chuck. And him and Grille are our smallest players on the field, but they win every ball.
So you and Grille, huh? Well, Chuck, tell me about your season. How'd it go this past fall?
It was good until the last game where we played Indiana Invaders, who beat us, and then we didn't win our division because they beat us, but we had a good season other than that.
Sure. Will you get a chance to play them again, you think, in the future?
Yes, they're in our division this coming season, and they also moved up to Premier.
So you get a chance to get them maybe in the springtime?
Yeah.
There you go. Tell me about your game. What you like about soccer? Maybe tell me a little bit about your game.
I usually just like win the ball and then play it out wide to Cam or Owen or play it back if I have to.
Just being a good teammate, sounds like.
Yeah.
Sharing that ball, right?
Yep.
Well, what are you working on now that you're indoors, and what do you want to try to get ready for the spring season?
I'm trying to get my right foot better so I can play long balls with my right foot and accurately.
Sure. So I guess you're more of a lefty, is that right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for being on the show. Great season. All the best with the off season and then spring season. Thank you. All right. Take care. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Oh, this is Will. We call him Big Will. He's our center back, and we rely on him a lot of winning every ball on defense, and he's been doing great the whole season.
Tell me about your season this past fall, Will.
I think my season's been pretty good. I'm like a ball winner, so I have like a lot of big tackles and slides, clear it up. Yeah, I think our team's like gotten a lot better in the like recent years. Like we used to not be so good, but I mean now we're like moving forward to Premier League and things like that.
Sounds like the team skills are just getting better and better, and that's just putting in the time, putting in the work. I mean, it sounds like you guys are really sticking with it.
Yeah, I think like we just had a lot of dedication and we had a lot of potential, but we weren't really executing like earlier in the year and like earlier in our career as a team.
So defense for you, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you like? I mean, is that what you prefer?
Yeah, I like defense.
So what is it about defense that appeals to you the most? The aggressive play?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I bet. Well, what are you working on now as you get ready for the spring season?
One thing I'm working on is like skills, foot skills, because I could like work on that as a defender, just getting better skills, like in moves and stuff, because it's not necessarily like as required as maybe like a striker. So I'm trying to get better with that.
Well, Will, we appreciate you being on the show. You did a great job, great season. Good luck in the spring.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Coach, I'm real impressed with your players. They're fantastic. They're great players, but they're great young men. They do a great job talking. Come on up. Welcome to the show.
This is Noah, our right back, center back, left back, center mid. He's one of our utility players too. So,
Noah, welcome to the show. Tell me about your season this past fall.
It's been good. We've had some games that we've really destroyed and some games that we struggle, and we just keep working hard at practice.
I love it. That's a great answer. That's what it's all about. You can't get down on the losses. You got to come right back and keep working. It sounds like that's what you guys have been doing, talking to your teammates. You keep grinding, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your game in particular, type of player that you are, maybe a highlight this past year for you.
I play right back, and earlier this year I went up for a corner kick and found it in the box and hit it top corner, and it was my first goal.
Memorable, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what are you working on now that you're in the off season?
I'm working out and trying to get my juggle record.
Your what record?
Juggling.
Juggling? Tell me, what's your record? What are you trying to get to?
I got 86, and I'm trying to get 100.
That's pretty impressive. That's great. Well, thank you for being on the show. Good luck this off season and with your spring season.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Got a few more left here, Coach. Welcome to the show.
And this is Christian. This is our goalie, one of the tallest players in the team and one of the captains in the team. So he's
goalie. Welcome.
Yeah,
we got our first goalie, I think, here tonight. Well, tell me about playing this position. Why goalie? What is it that attracts you to this position?
Well, my dad played that position, and he influenced me a lot when I grew up, like, playing soccer. And there's, like, most of my family, so they all play goalie. So it's kind of, like, what I was born into, and it's just, like, it just is good for me. I like it.
What makes a great goalie? I mean, obviously you got to anticipate, but just kind of tell me skills that you got to have to be a great goalie.
I mean, your reactions have to be really quick. You have to be able to cover a pretty big goal. You got, like, you got to be loud. You got to be able to talk with your team. You got to have good relationships with your team so they will listen to you and respect you.
You're right. Communication's huge, and knowing where they need to be to protect you and help you. I think that's huge. And maybe talk about your defense this past year.
So our defense is really, really strong. They have not given up a ton. There's a couple things they need to work on, but overall they've been really good this year.
Now, what do you work on here in this offseason to get ready for the spring season?
So off-season, I've been working on my positioning. I've needed to be louder this year, and also like all my technique. I'm trying to get better with my technique, so everything's just a lot cleaner for this next year.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Great season. Good luck in the spring.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Coach, we have one more? Or
no, I think this is the last
everyone?
one.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's everyone
Coach,
for today.
I just want to say thank you for bringing your team in tonight. I was really impressed. We talked about it. You got to be great communicators on the field, and they did a great job communicating with us here on the show tonight, and I just think they were a wonderful team, and it sounds like to me they're working hard. It sounds like they've gone from here to here, and they keep improving.
Oh, yes. And what I like about is they're doing really good in school, too. Their education-wise is been great. Soccer, they're balancing it both. So that's what we encourage kids to do.
Well, thanks for bringing the team in, Coach. The parents, we're having a great time. All the best with the off season. Good luck this spring as well.
Thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll have more of the show after this timeout.
Welcome to Campbell's Highland Grille.
Campbell's Highland Grille, a family-owned Scottish-American sports grill in Greenwood. Dig into appetizing American food that you'll love, as well as traditional Scottish fare. Family-friendly and great specials, too. Kids eat free on Tuesdays. Enjoy our tasty breakfast on the weekend, and free Sundays on Sunday.
The best thing to eat on the menu is the Berkeley Turkey Club. No way, the best thing on the menu is bone BLT.
Campbell's Highland Grill in Greenwood.
Don't forget to top it off with Bellamy's bread pudding. Mmm.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Center Grove Sports Show here at Campbell's Highland Grill. Kevin Conrad, your host. On the show today, it's all about the South Central Soccer Academy, and now the Executive Director, Bo Jackson, joins us. And Bo, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you having me.
Well, Bo, you just wrapped up the 2019 fall season. You started as the Executive Director this past August. Tell us how things went for you and the club this past fall.
Yeah, it was awesome. Energy and enthusiasm at the club was amazing. Got into town, started August 1st, doing a little remote work. Got into town the Wednesday after Labor Day, and I would say arguably been drinking from a fire hose since being here. But yeah, no, the energy is awesome. The kids are great. Our volunteers are phenomenal. The office staff, the board, everything's been going really, really well. Actually, I would say that it's probably one of the best launching seasons I could probably remember, just from a, like I said, energy, positive environment, trying to get things done, looking to make some changes here and there, and really provide the best environment we can for all the youngsters. Yeah.
Well, maybe tell us, how many kids did you have participating this past fall? Are the numbers steady? Are they up? Are they down? Where are you at with the club?
I think we're kind of holding steady. The recreational program saw a boost. We try to get the soccer communities united in any way, shape, or form we can. So we have satellite, not just our Trojan Academy, which is there at the Center Grove Soccer Club, but then we also have satellite campuses in Whiteland. Martinsville was our first year doing that satellite, up in Perry as well. So trying to get more and more players involved in the game. It's a growing sport. You can pretty much look at any state statistics, and it's really taking off. So providing that opportunity has been great. And then our club side, doing really, really well. Last spring actually was the first time that the Alliance, and that's a whole other topic, but we're part of the Alliance, which unites the Cutters from Bloomington, the Express from Columbus, and then, of course, here at South Central Soccer Academy, our group, but we had our U19 State Cup champions, boys. So we're coming off of that. Numbers, like I said, pretty steady. just looking to continue to grow the program.
And it takes a lot of volunteers, great parents, a lot of, there's board members, you need coaches. Maybe talk from that standpoint. You mentioned early on there's a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm with the club, but maybe talk about the feedback and the volunteer work that you get.
Yeah, we'll snapshot it and we'll take our Nightmare at the Rock, which is a staple tradition soccer tournament that's been here for years upon years. And, it was my first time working the event, and the turnout that we had from our community with the Garza volunteers was top-notch. Saturday was probably, some of the worst weather you could have. Temperatures, low 40s, mid 40s, and rain all day long. But we still had our parents out there working the parking lots, making sure people were getting in and out safe. We had people standing out there as field marshals, making sure that everything was going well with the referees and the coaches. And then, of course, our board kind of being our powerhouse of support, for lack of better terms, for our office staff, and Laura Sanchez, who kind of took care of organizing all the volunteers and making sure that they were where they needed to be and got the support that they needed. And Katie McLaughlin taking care of our vendors, our coaches. We had a hospitality room for them to come in, dry off, get some chili. And then, like I said, our board members, Ryan Durrell and Katrina Richardson and Jeff Purdy and Dave Walton, all those guys, really showing up for us, to, give us that encouragement that we can rock it out. Especially given we put some, new events in this year. We had, the rain didn't dampen our spirits too much. On Sunday, we brought in, we gave everybody the opportunity to set up a tent, like a home base for all the clubs. And then they could decorate that tent however they saw fit with the Halloween theme. And then we gave out prizes and stuff like that, and it was an awesome experience for those that participated. We also did we were going to do an outdoor movie night, but with the weather being what it was, we turned it into a Sunday matinee. So we're able to have kids come into our indoor facility, watch movie, eat popcorn in between their games, which was awesome. And then we tried something new with food truck Sundays. So we got some of the local vendors, brought them in, parked them up, and we actually had Pie Indy run out of dough. It was so successful. So no, all of that wouldn't have been possible without that energy, without that positivity with our volunteers and staff.
And Bo, as the incoming executive director, like we mentioned back in August, you come in and you see some opportunities here with the facility. I know you want to do some upgrades with the facility. You have a very nice paid parking lot. That's a great upgrade. Of course, years ago they built the indoor facility. Obviously, a very nice upgrade. But maybe some other upgrades that you'd like to see with the club.
Yeah, as we're finishing up our board elections, we're looking to take all that energy, all that positivity, and kind of lock the doors up a little bit and say, all right, how can we make this facility something that everybody can be proud of on the south side? It's an amazing setup. So, can we get an irrigation system so that when we run into those summers that end up being a little bit hotter than we need them to be and burning up that grass, we'll have that irrigation system set up. Or, we look to do turf. So the springs and the falls are getting wetter, right? So turf kind of alleviates some of that from our fields, and the kids can still get to play, right? So they get to come out, and as long as like lightning and things like that, they still get to play. Lights, we're looking to kind of take everything, throw it out on the board, and then phase it out and say, all right, what can we do? What would make the community proud? And then from getting that blueprint of different phases and things like that, then we're obviously going to go out into the community and say, hey, this is what we're looking to do. Who would be in to help us out? There's a lot of pride down here on the south side, for sure, without a doubt. And so what I'd like to do with the next coming months and with the board is kind of facilitate the opportunities to kind of let that pride run wild a little bit, get something down here that everybody can really rally around. So, yeah.
And now you head into the colder months, so obviously off season, but I know a lot of the players are still playing. Like I said, we got that indoor facility, so that's nice to hone in on your skills during the winter time. But maybe talk a little bit about the spring season. We got a lot of parents that watch the show and follow CG Sports Network. Maybe talk about, in general, like registration and things that you have to offer coming up this spring.
Absolutely. Definitely from the recreational side of the game, which it's kind of great for some of the players that do multiple sports for sure. But we'll have open registration. Actually, you can register now all the way up through. I think our first actual round of games will be in April, so you can register all the way through March. We'd love to have them involved for sure. On the club side, we're always looking to see if somebody wants to take. Most of the time, the players coming from the recreational program, they want to test their limits and see what they can do. So I would say that, first thing is get involved in the recreational program, see what that's like, get to know the club, get to know us down here at South Central. And then if that's a phenomenal experience and you got a passionate youngster that really wants to take it to the next level, that's where the club comes in. And then that's, registering and trying out at the club level. Typically we do that in June, right, after the spring season's over with. But there's always opportunities to kind of see, okay, can you come out and train? That's one of the beauties of South Central Soccer Academy is that, Matt, as the director of coaching, has really got his, mind wrapped around allowing fluidity between the programs. So if you have a recreational player that's really wanting to test the limits, they don't have to necessarily be enrolled in the club, like at the club level, the travel program. Then we bring them into a training session and see what they do. Give them the opportunity. Is it an environment that they love to be a part of? Okay, cool. Then we can take that to the next step and see what that looks like. And if not, that's totally fine as well. So I would say definitely get started with the recreational side for sure. And then as you're moving in and through that, see if the club environment's, for you, that extra level of competition, if you will. So,
Bo, thanks a lot for joining us. Sounds like you had a great 2019 season.
Yeah.
All the best with the 2020 season.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's going to wrap up our show from Campbell's Highland Grill. Until next time, this is Kevin Conrad saying so long, everyone.